The tech world is actually evolving at a very fast pace, and as product managers, you need to also evolve as fast as it is. Now we're moving to a trend where product managers are getting technical as well. So it means you don't just focus on the business side, but you also need to have like technical prowess as it relates to building your product. Today, I'll be sharing a roadmap for you to actually get technical as a product manager. Stay with me. The first thing I always recommend is learn how the internet works, right? There are videos out there that can actually tell you how internet works, how what happens at the back end when you try to like launch a website, and you know what happens when you try to launch an app and whatnot. Secondly, you need to know what front end, back end, database and whatnot is, right? Because I mean, those are like the components of your system really. And you also need to know like the tech stack, right? For backend and for front end. I mean, an example is maybe Node.js, JavaScript, C#. I mean, basic like the programming language that a software developer will typically use to build an application, the advantages and disadvantages as well. Then you need to learn about database. You need to know what a database is. After you learn about database, then you need to learn SQL. I mean, sometimes there are courses that actually, like instructs you or teaches you both at the same time. So as a technical product manager, you also need to know about APIs and Webhook, because you use them a lot especially when you're integrating to systems or building larger systems that depend on other systems, right? So you need to understand what APIs and Webhook is, and you also need to be able to like read an API documentation or even like define an API structure based on what you're trying to build, just to recommend to your engineers. I also recommend you learn about GitHub, you learn about the Git repository and whatnot, just so you understand those basics as well. I also recommend learning a bit about cloud, how the cloud works, and also learn about DevOps, right? Because I mean, you also need to be able to speak to your DevOps engineer whenever you want to actually deploy any of your solutions. So you need to learn about it. And guys, please, I'm not saying you should learn like an expert, right? I'm just saying learn the basics that will enable you to actually discuss or have a connection with your team and understand their pain points whenever they're discussing any technicalities, right? Very important, guys, SQL and learn about database. As a product manager, you don't want to like burden your development team with the load of having to go and query database whenever you want to find out different products insights or whatnot. In this case, if you're able to utilize SQL, right, and you understand database properly, they can just give you like access to be able to like read. So you're able to like query the database to actually get different insights on your products and whatnot. This will actually help you as a product manager, trust me. One other thing I recommend learning is system design, right? As a product manager, when you're coming up with your requirements or thinking about a product, like it also makes sense to understand how the system would work, the different components that will be required, how they will talk to each other. And what this helps you is sometimes, we can be very creative and think a system can be able to do this. But if you understand the basics of system design, you're able to tell what your system will be able to do technically, right? And that saves you some stress having to, have a back and forth with your technical team. So in summary, learn how internet works, learn about front end and back end and database, learn how to query database, that's SQL, learn the basics of UI UX designing, learn system design, learn about cloud computing, learn about DevOps processes and whatnot, learn about your CI/CD pipeline as well. You can also choose to learn about, testing automation and whatnot, depending on how far you want to go. You need to prep yourself for how fast the industry is evolving, and I really recommend you trying to get technical as a PM while also learning the business side. Do you want to listen to more insight about product management? Don't forget to follow Tips PM Insight, and please share with any of your friends that actually want to get technical. To simplify this, I have some YouTube videos that can actually help you get technical in this bit. Just comment video on the comment section and I'll be sharing that with you.